Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Picking up from where we left off last week. Parents and guardians of Wakenham Region 3 on Saturday last received approximately $8 million through the government's Because We Care and School Uniform and Supplies cash grant. The rollout of the grants on the island was spearheaded by a minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar.
Children are your future. If you don't help and develop and sustain and support, you won't have a future. That is the cycle of life. We born, we grow, we die, and a new generation keep replenishing. That is how it is.
Long-standing issues encountered by persons insured at the National Insurance Scheme were resolved in the first of a series of outreaches launched by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh. The Minister and NIS staff on Saturday last sat down with several persons, including the elderly at Giftland Mall, Turkine, to sort out issues linked to inefficiencies in the execution of the scheme's functions.
A large number of contributors to the NIS and NIS pensioners have been encountering a variety of challenges and frustrations in their interactions with the scheme for a variety of reasons, including issues of bureaucracy, issues of timeliness of processing of transactions, etc. This outreach is part of our government's efforts to address a large stock of inherited challenges with the National Insurance Scheme.
Dr. Singh and the NIS team conducted a similar exercise the following day in Region 3. The senior government minister assured citizens that this exercise will be held throughout the country as government seeks to make the entity more citizen-friendly. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, says his ministry is committed to providing the tools required to enhance the capacity of the nephrology and kidney transplant department at the Georgetown Public Hospital. On Monday last, the department marked a huge milestone of successfully performing its first kidney transplant on a patient from outside of Guyana.
Allow me first of all to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Kishore and his team. It seems that it has now become a routine for me to come over here at the hospital to celebrate these moments with the staff of the hospital and Dr. Kishore and his team. They have done over the last 6 years a fantastic job, despite the many challenges and odds that they face. And the government of Guyana is committed to ensuring that they're given the tools so that they can enhance their work. Today we celebrate a very historic day in Guyana, and that is we have been able to do transplantation for one of our CARICOM sister.
Minister Anthony says government is working on improving the delivery of health care services, not just for Guyanese, but for persons in the region as well. Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, on Monday encouraged women to see themselves as winners. She was speaking during the launch of the Women's Innovation and Investment Network, WIN project. Minister Prasad said the program serves as a stepping stone for women to become successful.
It is by no coincidence that we chose the acronym WIN, because I want women to see themselves as winners in our world. WIN spells out innovation and investment, and another critical word, which is networking, because it is envisaged that you will develop a strong network among yourselves, because each one of you will have your own dream. Each one of you will have your own goalpost that you are trying to attain, and each one of you would have had a deep-seated aspiration that through this first step, through WIN, you will use it to climb and attain greater heights.
The WIN program is accessible to all women from ages 17 and above, online and in person, with no academic criteria. It consists of two components: professional care and information and communications technology (ICT). Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony also on Monday last handed over 7 ATVs and 33 motorcycles to the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmlal. During the handover, Minister Anthony said the vehicles will contribute towards a quicker response to medical emergencies in those remote regions.
In terms of improving the quality of the service that we deliver, many times our health posts and health centers are a little bit distant from some of the communities, and for health workers to move from point A to point B, it's often a challenge.
Minister Darmlal said the vehicles will be used to enhance the delivery of health services in the hinterland regions.
I think this is a significant investment that the Ministry of Health has made. There has always been a challenge of logistics across the country. The delivery of health services is going to be enhanced with these pieces of equipment or vehicles that have been provided today.
Minister of Public Service Sonia Parag led the distribution of the government's Because We Care cash grant program on Monday at the Lachman Singh Primary and the Fort Wellington Secondary Schools, Region 5. During the launch, the Public Service Minister noted that the program seeks to bring relief to parents preparing their children for the new academic term. As of Monday evening, 50% of the country's adult population had received their first COVID jab. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony made this disclosure during Tuesday's COVID-19 update.
We have been able to vaccinate 243,540 persons. So that means that we are now, for first dose vaccines, we have been able to vaccinate 50% of our adult population. I think that's a very significant achievement. In terms of second dose, we have been able to vaccinate 128,847 persons. That represents 26.5% of our adult population.
Meanwhile, with second dose figures still significantly low, Minister Anthony said Guyana is some distance away from achieving herd immunity. The Small Business Bureau has granted 12 persons a total of $12 million in grants through its Green Tech Fund. The beneficiaries each received $1 million at a ceremony hosted on Tuesday at the Artichung Conference Center. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Walron, congratulated the recipients while noting that it was a competitive selection process.
The idea is that you should use this financial support as a platform for business expansion so that in years to come, you would be in a position to contribute to increased employment and economic growth in our country.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senior Counsel Mohibber Anil Nandlal has spearheaded the distribution of over $20 million to West Bank Berbice parents. This is part of the government's Because We Care cash grant program and the school uniform and supplies grant, which gives back $19,000 cash to each child in the public school system. The distribution took place at the Rosignol Secondary and Blairmont Primary Schools.
Today you are witnessing and you are participating in another initiative in which we are demonstrating in the most manifested and palpable way our commitment to our young people and to the education of our young people in our country.
The Oscar Joseph District Hospital will be upgraded to ensure the provision of efficient healthcare services to residents of Region 2. This was noted during a meeting between Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmlal and the hospital's staff.
We keep hearing a lot of issues about the delivery of our services. And these issues are not limited to Region 2, and they're not limited to Oscar Joseph Hospital, across the country. And I think many of you work in the system, so you may have heard many of these things before. But for us as government, we have a commitment that a covenant that we sign with people on election day. And one of those covenants is that we must enhance the services that we provide.
Minister Dharmlal is hoping the upgraded facility will provide 24-hour service. He noted that the region's health sector will soon be boosted through the conversion of the Sani Public Hospital into a smart hospital. Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton on Tuesday spearheaded the distribution of the Because We Care cash grant at the number 8 secondary and number 29 primary schools, Region 5. Approximately 1,010 cash grants were distributed at both schools. In his address to the parents and guardians, Minister Hamilton highlighted the importance of this initiative to support the nation's children as they pursue their studies. The minister urged that the grants be used wisely.
So whatever benefits, whatever facility the government makes available to you, you must snatch it with both hands. Because it is yours. You're a citizen of this country. Somehow, some people, sometimes they think it's some special favor. Us in the government, we see this as our duty. We see this as giving service to the people of this country.
More money and more jobs are on the cards for people and businesses involved in the business process outsourcing BPO industry of Guyana. This was noted by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, following a tour of Express International on Tuesday.
Guyana, of course, is an English-speaking country. We have a very well-educated population. We are strategically located on the same time zone as the east coast of North America. And we're very close to the US and Canada. We're very easily accessible to the big North American cities. As you know, we're 5 or 6 hours away from New York. We're 4 or 5 hours away from Miami.
Dr. Singh said Express is an example of what can be achieved by the diaspora, which the government is working to draw back to Guyana's shores. On Thursday, several ministers of government fanned out across Linden and other parts of Region 10 to ensure persons benefit from government's Because We Care program. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgell says government's move to inject over $220 million into the Upper Demerara Berbice region is not a fly-by-night strategy, but shows the administration's sincerity towards the academic growth of Guyana's children. Minister Edgell was at the time addressing over 800 parents at the 1 Mile Primary School during the launch of the program.
Of the Because We Care cash grant is the PPPC's administration declaration that we believe in our children. We believe that an educated nation is a nation on its way to development and prosperity. And we believe that the most precious resource in a country is not the oil, the gold, the diamond, the bauxite, or the forestry. The most important resource is our human resource.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, while at the Amelia's Ward Primary School, said he was impressed by the turnout.
The cash grant program today, as you know, ministers are spread out across Region 10 in this particular area here. We all came out to make sure that we deliver government's promise, that we reintroduce the cash grant that was taken away by the APNU to children and families. Remember, COVID is tough. Everybody here, you're facing tough times. People need a little extra help in whatever form. I believe that what should be said is that we keep our promise. We make a promise, we keep it. We focus on it and make sure we deliver on it. And that's what we're doing today. We're delivering to the people of Region 10.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira, while at the Wisberg Secondary School, said the program will be taken to every public school child in every community across Guyana.
This program we're coming to you with is going all over Guyana. Every single village, every Amerindian village, every creek, every area where children are registered for school. So no part of Guyana will be left out. No part, no child. And so it will cost us about $3.2 billion to give out. In fact, I believe today in Region 10, it's over $220 million being distributed just in Linden.
Parents in the community of Wizrock have lauded the government for its commitment to the people and children of Guyana through its Because We Care cash grant program. Speaking to DPI, many of them on Thursday expressed gratitude, noting that it will assist in catering to their children's educational needs. Meanwhile, Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben led the exercise at the new Silver City Secondary School. The minister said the cash grant initiative is making ends meet for hundreds of parents in the region, and parents are thankful for the initiative.
There is a lot of thankfulness in respect of the effort. People are speaking of paying for internet access for their children, thinking about getting tablets, doing the little things to get children ready for school come September.
Minister Ben says the reintroduction of the program shows that the PPPC administration is a government of its word. At the Mackenzie High School, Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs Kwame McCoy spoke about the importance of education and why the government will continue to invest in the nation's young people.
Education is power. Don't we all know that? Education can move mountains. Education is the way to the future. Education is the thing to unlock the potential of our children and the future and to take us as a country forward, swiftly so. The more we educate our children, it's the better their chances at being successful, better the chances for our country and the movement towards development.
The Ministry of Agriculture on Thursday signed close to $429 million in contracts to boost the sector. Of that amount, $84 million will be used in the procurement of a pontoon and 2 long-reach hydraulic excavators, which are to operate in the Pomeroon River Region 2. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa says this is government fulfilling a commitment to the people.
The President, His Excellency, would have committed to the peoples of Pomeroon to deliver to them excavators with pontoon on it so that we can constantly clear the river, the Pomeroon River. You know that area is prone to flooding, and every time you have high tides and heavy rainfall, those areas are flooded out. So we want to mitigate flooding, so to speak, in those areas.
Minister Mustafa highlighted the importance of the contractors completing the works on time.
We will not extend contract deadlines, and we will not accept substandard work. That means, comrade, we'll depend on you to deliver quality work and deliver those quality works on time.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.